Austria has become the first Western democracy to resort to mandatory vaccination in response to a record-breaking surge in infections that has flooded its hospitals with critical COVID-19 patients. Chancellor Alexander Schallenberg announced on Friday that COVID-19 vaccination would be mandatory in the Alpine Republic from February 2022. That makes Austria the first European country and one of the first in the world to impose compulsory coronavirus vaccination. We have not managed to get enough unvaccinated people to get vaccinated. The most recent measures have increased daily vaccinations, but not enough, Schallenberg said. For a long time, it was consensus in the country that a vaccine mandate is not necessary, but we have to face reality. Austria will also enter a nationwide lockdown for a maximum of 20 days from Monday, Schallenberg added. The decision by Schallenberg, who has only been in the job for just over a month after predecessor Sebastian Kurz stepped down amid a sleaze investigation, marks a dramatic escalation in Vienna's policy response after Austria's fourth coronavirus wave went ballistic. The Central European country is grappling with a surging infection rate as more than 15,000 new cases were reported on Thursday, up from 11,000 earlier this week. The infection rate, measured as the number of weekly cases per 100,000 people, is on the brink of breaching the 1,000 mark. In the worst-hit region of Salzburg, where the rate of infection exceeds 1,700, a committee was set up this week to decide which COVID-19 patients can receive critical care and which will not. Take-up of coronavirus vaccination by Austria's 9 million people has been relatively low by European standards. Oops, sorry guys. Take-up of coronavirus vaccination by Austria's 9 million people has been relatively low by European standards, as 65.5%, despite ample availability of doses procured centrally for the EU member states. That reflects a more widespread scepticism in German-speaking countries, in particular in regions where parties of the political far right that have campaigned against pandemic restrictions enjoy strong support. That in turn has left societies wide open to the Delta variant, which is more infectious than earlier interactions of the coronavirus and thrives in colder weather. Oh, how convenient. The general vaccine mandate is a last resort in a democracy, but the critical situation seemingly left the government in Vienna with little choice. The Austrian government is doing this very reluctantly, but as the Chancellor has explained, he has few options, said Martin McKee, Professor of the Public Health at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. If others have a better idea, they should say what it is. This is a reminder of the need for a vaccine plus strategy and the importance of acting early as soon as there is any sign of rising cases. Across the border in Germany, the southern state of Bavaria is experiencing a surge in infections that has flooded intensive care units and forced critical patients to be transported by ambulance to hospitals that still have spare capacity. In the eastern state of Saxonia, the regional government has also tightened restrictions to contain record infections. German Chancellor Angela Merkel Thursday announced a series of new anti-COVID measures, placing tighter restrictions on unvaccinated people to cope with what she called a dramatic worsening of the pandemic in the country. Germany reported a record 7-day incidence Friday of 341 with 53,000 new cases. I'd like to know how they get these case numbers, because if you're getting tested on the day, you don't get your results. So how on earth do we get these cases and these figures on any of these stories? Guys, I'm not going to read anymore. I'll leave the link below. This is from a site called Politico. And there we go. So Austria becomes the first Western democracy, right? The first Western country to say that all of the residents in their country have to be vaccinated by February 2022. They have gone ahead and made vaccinations mandatory. So, there you go, guys. Peace out.